What's up, guys? This your boy No Chill Chad checking in again, and just gonna give you guys a quick video. You know, I just installed the WolfBox G900 for, well, it's universal. It's universal first off, but I haven't seen them put one in an F body, so I decided to reach out to them and kind of just see, you know, how does it work on some of these older vehicles, especially, you know, this is a 2002. All of these amenities weren't even invented. Well, they were invented, but they weren't on these cars. It wasn't a standard. So what I did was decide to reach out to them and see if we can get it installed, see what kind of, what kind of hoops I got to go through. What do I need to do to make it happen? Because this car, I didn't have a backup camera. I don't have a double din CD player right now, so I needed a backup camera. I also needed a dash cam. I kind of live by a dash cam. Dash cams really do help. So wanted to reach out to them and see if I can get this thing installed. So I really wanted to make an install video for you guys, but when I tell you it was 100 degrees outside, I started the install at about 10 a.m., 10:30 a.m. or something like that. And, I was expecting, it might take an hour or two, whatever. But next thing you know, a couple hours in and the sun came out and it was blazing. I'm talking about, I wore like a cutoff shirt. So like my arm is like, you can see the ombre in my arm. My arm was red. I thought I had a sunburn, but no peeling. It was just really red. The install took about, I'd probably say it took about 4 hours, only because I was really meticulous. I wanted to hide the wires. I wanted it to be A1. I'm not the one to kind of do like a, half-ass job. I really like to, I like it to be nice. I don't want to see no wires. Hide as much wire as possible. Make it seem like it's factory, like it came like that with the car. So pretty much I'm going to give you a rundown of how I ran it and what you'd have to do in order for you to install it. I'm going to show some pictures, show some videos of what it looks like, and you decide if you like it or not. Grab you one, click the link in my bio on Instagram. You can also check out this video. Look down here at the bottom and you'll see a link as well. You can order one. I have like a little affiliate link, and then you'll also kind of get a discount when you order yours. So I'm going to show you guys, what I did on mine. So as you can see, this is the WolfBox G900. The power button is like a regular mirror. Push the power button. This is the front. This is the rear. It's got the record light on. We got the GPS. You can just do the rear only, the front only. You could do the rear, the front, and then you can do the front and the rear. So what I did was I showed you guys the mount. I used the WolfBox mount, so replace my actual factory mirror. And then the wire that was plugged up to the actual car, originally I tucked it in the headliner. This is the power cable. I literally ran it through the headliner. In order to get to the headliner, there's 3 screws. When you take out the T-top, if you have T-tops, there's like 2 or 3 screws here. And then this right here just kind of pops out. Literally, it just slides out itself. You got to take out 3 screws here. 1, 2, 3. Take out the visor. Take out these screws. This falls. This comes out. Headliner drops. You're able to run this wire all the way down here. So when you run the wire, you're going to go into the fuse box. So me, because all the wires they already had with the fuses, so these are like the accessory wires with the car. You can see right here, you got your accessory wire, cigarette accessory, power accessory. And they also have in the manual, they also show you the different type of setups of how you want to power your mirror. So this is how I ran mine, with the accessory and the cigarette accessory wire. The ground wire. So when you take out this screw, there's another screw here. this panel falls down, and there's a little there's a bolt here. I think it's like a 7mm. Pull the 7mm, and that's the ground wire. Now, this was something tricky. So I ran the wires all up here and down and around, and there's a little module on the wire that the ground is on. And I realized that, you know, where's that module gonna go? You can put the module up in here somewhere, but I decided to go in reverse. So I had to feed the wires through this hole where this button is. There's a hole. I fed the box through there, fed the wires in reverse, and then came back up around to the headliner and did the power. So at first I went this way, then I decided, all right, I got to go this way because I didn't want to have that box out in the way. I wanted to tuck it. All right, so part 2, you have your GPS wire, and then you have your rear view camera. So I've always had an issue where, you know, if I run all the wires to one side, sometimes the ground and the power, there may be some road noise. It may be a little staticky. So I've just got this thing where I always choose to run, you know, my wires like separate. I try not to run them all to one side. It's easier to run them all to one side, but I just choose to run two sides. So that was another reason it took me a little bit longer. But I'm kind of glad I did, because what happens is with the GPS wire, same thing. We disconnected, took out the visor, took out this trim panel, and then with this dash pad, you can pop this dash pad up. So what I did was I fed the GPS wire through here and then under, over the pillar, back up, headliner, boom, easy. So this is the rear view camera. So of course the rear view camera needs to go in the back of the car. So that was a little bit more work. But once again, I went from here up through the headliner, down the pillar. I take out the kick panel all the way down through the kick panel. So down through the kick panel, there's like a couple screws there. Went all the way around. Same thing, there's like 2 screws when you take the T-top off. There's 2 screws up here. Pry this back. The speaker is right here, so you can see the wire go all the way down by the speaker, and then you can literally see out through the back. So once we came back here and I saw the wire through the back, I just fed the wire all the way through the side. All right, all the way through the side over here. So now that same wire from the rear view, for the rear view mirror or rear view camera, ran all the way down the side, and the cable's long enough. It's plenty length. So now that we got the cable ran through here, I had to figure out, let me tuck that in there. I had to figure out how to get the camera to the rear. All right. So what I had to do was, we had to take out the tail lamps, and there's still no access to the rear bumper. So you got to take out this panel here. And once you take out the tail lamps, there's 4 screws that hold this in. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. So you take all of that out, and then you can kind of see where some wires are. You still really don't have access to the bumper like you really want. So then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 plastic push pins. You're gonna pull those push pins out. Once you pull those push pins out, then you can kind of pry the bumper back a little bit. Now the thing is, with these F-bodies, these cameras are set up to be adhesive. But the problem is, under here, you have your light, and then it's like open space. It's a lot of open space. So in that plastic, the bumper filler, that's where mine is adhesing, but it's not centered. So they actually sell a trim that goes behind the plate so that you can center the camera. So I just ordered one of those so that I can center my camera right here dead in the middle. But once you put, you know where you're going to put the camera, I didn't tape it yet, but then I fed the wire through this hole, and you're going to feed it to the top of the bumper. All right, now that you have the wire out, it'll plug in to the wire that you had all the way up from the front. If you feed that wire all the way around, there's a grommet right here. I just cut a small little slit in the grommet, pushed the wire through, and then I connected it to the rear camera. So if you would have came all the way over here, it would have went straight from all the way over there. It would have went straight on in. But because I went from this side, you got to go all the way around and then come. And in the package, there's these little hooks that you can. There's these little hooks that you can put the wire on that actually clip the hook in, and they're 3M tape. So I just have those hooks tucked, tucked around, holding the wire in place through the grommet, connect to the camera. And then there's an extra wire that you have to tap in to the reverse light, to the power of the reverse light. So when you put the car in reverse, that's when the camera comes on, just for the rear view camera. So after you get done with all of that, I mean, it's pretty good to go. Like, put the accessory wires together, turn the car on, boom, worked perfectly fine, no issues. The only thing is, on these F bodies, your vanity lights are built into your rear view mirrors. So now I don't have that vanity light. Now they do give you the option, like I said, where you can wrap the WolfBox rear view onto your factory, but it'll make it look a little bulkier. It's up to you. It's really up to you. So I definitely wanted it to be by itself. So I may get some LED lights or something and just kind of create my own vanity light and hook it up and tap into the wire that was already factory from the car. So that's probably what I'll do, actually. The other con, I would say, at least for the F body, is that, like I say, this looks really good, but when you turn it off, you're driving, you can't really see the rear view because the rear view isn't angled at you, right? But when you angle it at yourself, the camera has a toggle, but it only captures like a right angle. It's not centered. So I wish the camera could toggle a little bit more to get more center of the vehicle. So I mean, it's cool, so when you turn it off, you can actually just look at the rear view regular, or see yourself, if you need to look good or something like that. But so those are probably the two only bad things that I could really say so far. Like I say, no vanity lights, but some of the new cars, all the vanity lights are up here. So, for us, it's a problem. For anybody else, it's cool. And like I said, the toggle on the camera. And the other thing is, so it has like an option to turn off the actual camera. So I'm still kind of tinkering with it. But I'm trying to figure out, screensaver mode. So if I put it on turn off screen or screensaver mode, it'll be on for a little bit while I'm driving, and then while I'm driving, it'll just go off. I need it to be on while I drive, and when it's parked, it can turn the screen off, but it still be recording. So right now it's like either or. It's kind of like either the screen is on, and then when it's parked, the screen is still on, or when you're driving, the screen is off, and then when you're parked, the screen is off. But if you tap it, it'll pop on, but it's not staying on. So, I probably haven't figured it out yet. Still something new to me. So I'm just gonna give y'all a little bit of video and kind of just see how it looks. Definitely worth the price. So like I said, once you add it to the reverse, you put it in reverse. The reverse camera comes on, high, medium, low. You put it back in drive, boom. So, like I said, man, this camera is really dope. I think it definitely adds to the aesthetic to these older model cars. It just gives us some up-to-date options and creature comforts. So, you know, I definitely recommend it. Like I said, I'll give it an 8.5 out of 9. I mean, 8.5 out of 10. And police just rolled up, so we'll just see if he says anything. But, all right, man, no chill chat. Check it out. Later.